Damas y caballeros, de Cancún, Quintana Roo, México, en vivo por The Zone. Estamos listos para el siguiente combate de la noche. 10 asaltos, peso superpluma. Por favor, bienvenido, el guerrero, Oscar Escandón.
Well, there have been two major patterns in the career of the 39-year-old Oscar Escandón. One, he's almost always in entertaining fights, as his 5'1.5" stature necessitates a high-octane pressure style. But two, he's always come up short at the highest levels. Escandón is a multi-time interim world title holder at both super bantamweight and most recently at featherweight, but in his lone shot at a world title against Gary Russell Jr., he was stopped in 7 rounds. Tonight, he ventures to Mexico to keep his career alive. He says, "I know that with God's help, things are going to be much better at the end of my career."
Y ahora, caminando, Eduardo Sugar Núñez.
Well, as any actor would tell you, some auditions just happen at the exact right time. Eduardo Núñez would say the same after scoring a legitimate KO of the Year contender over Martin Seca last time out, with Eddie Hearn sitting ringside on commentary here with us. That win netted Núñez a matchroom contract, and as a result, the promotional push that he's been searching for all along to aid him in his quest for a world title. Eddie Hearn refers to him as the danger man in the super featherweight division, and that it may not be long, and is perhaps imminent, that he's knocking on the door of names like the two that we'll see in our main event later on tonight.
Damas y caballeros, de Cancún, Quintana Roo, México, en vivo por The Zone. Estamos listos para el siguiente combate de la noche. Presentado por Señor Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, in association with Cancún Boxing de Pepe Gómez y Boxstars. Patrocinado por Bet Online, Stage Front, and the Cancún Tourism Board. Los tres jueces son Torre de México, Luis Fitch, Miguel Morín y Juan Sánchez. Y el referee de México, Javier Espinosa. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super featherweight division. 10 asaltos, peso superpluma. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, esquina azul. Y llega el negro y el oro. Pesaba 132.8 libras. He scaled 132.8 pounds. His professional record, 27 victories, 6 defeats, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. 27 victorias, 6 derrotas, y 18 victorias por vía del knockout. Peleando fuera, Zimbabue, Colombia, Oscar, el guerrero Escandón. Escandón. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, esquina roja. Él usa negro con el oro. Pesaba 132.4 libras. He scaled 132.4 pounds. His professional record, 24 victories, only 1 defeat, all 24 wins coming por vía del knockout. Presentando el hijo de Jaguara, Sinaloa, México, Eduardo Sugar Núñez. Núñez.
Ya saben, hagan una pelea limpia, apliquen el reglamento y escuchen mis indicaciones cuando yo intervenga. Choquen sus guantes y pegan sus esquinas. Hagan una foto. Vamos a las esquinas.
Well, don't go to your fridge early in this one, everyone. These are two men who have proven very dangerous early. We saw Eduardo Núñez with his knockout over Martin Seca last time out. This man, Oscar Escandón, He blitzed Jack Tapora to win an interim title a couple of fights ago. He had Carlos Castro hurt in the opening round 2 fights ago. This one promises fireworks. Round 1 scheduled for 10.
If I'm Nunez, I'm testing that body early. Escandón looks pretty soft to the body right now.
Yeah, we mentioned 5'1.5", 39 years of age. Escandón certainly in the autumn of his career and at the upper reaches of where his body should be fighting. But nonetheless, he still has proven very dangerous against some good fighters in recent outings. And that left hook from Sugar Nunez is always dangerous as he tries to bring a right hand behind it.
Yeah, Escandón felt that left hook. Nunez seems to be heavy-handed, thudding that shot.
Sugar Nunez thought that he'd be taking part in an IBF title eliminator earlier this year against Zelfa Barrett, but that fight has not yet materialized, so looking to make a statement here against a recognizable name that has been fighting on American television basically since 2013 or so. Be a nice name to add to his resume.
I like that jab that Nunez is setting up to the midsection.
Right.
I feel like he's throwing that jab to the midsection to set something up top, whether it's a check hook or a straight right hand.
Saw him bring that left hook to the body a moment ago, but you're right, Dave. I think he's looking for a shot like that. That sailed over the top, and that's something that Escandón has talked about before, that one of the keys to his fighting style, he calls it his ring vision and his ability to let shots sail over top and then come back with left hooks like he scored with a couple of moments ago.
Also has a lot to do with low center of gravity. When you're that short, it's a lot easier to just be able to have that, leverage, just go down. And as you can see, his eyes are wide open, keeping a very clear look at Guerrero's sternum, Nunez's sternum.
Nunez back to that jab to the midsection, trying to create an opening.
Escandón not quite as bullish as he normally is in the opening rounds, and a lot of that I'm sure has to do with that pawing lead hand from Eduardo Nunez, who's ripping some shots on the inside right now. This is not where Escandón wants to be.
And I like the variations of shots that Nunez is throwing. Left uppercuts, hook up top, switching it up. Throwing punches from different angles, that was good.
Escandón escapes danger at the end of round 1.
Can do this. Breathe.
Timing is everything. Perform better on Sundays. Get half-price electricity, 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. with Peak Save from British Gas.
Fuera seco. Defensor.
So round 2 begins. Good opening round for Eduardo Sugar Nunez. Looked like he might have had Oscar Escandón in a little bit of trouble at the end of round 1.
Yeah, he was very successful putting him against the rope during combinations.
Big right hand, and Escandón is down in a heap.
Quick shoulder roll, came back with that right uppercut. Solid.
Oh, Escandón is up, but he is not all there, and the referee agrees. Another sugar-sweet knockout for Eduardo Nunez. Wow.
Escandon's looking at him like, man, you got me. That was...
And Carlos de Leon in the corner of Guerrero, Escandon was telling him, stay away from that close hook that was going to, you know, he was actually telling him in the first round, stay away from that hook.
Well, it's one thing to worry about the hook, but when there's a right hand coming all the way from Sinaloa that lands on your temple, that is the end of the fight.
I was just talking to him about how aggressive this fighter is showing to be, and he's like, we just need to keep the distance. And sure enough, as we were finishing the sentence, he goes down.
Well, Eddie Hearn referred to him as the danger man in the division, and boy, that is a dangerous-looking fighter as we take a look at how this one ended.
It was a great shoulder roll. He anticipated the right hand to come behind it, so he rolled the shoulder and just came right back with that right. See right here, he thinks the shot was coming. He shoulder rolled it, so he had that motion. He had that range to throw that shot. And it was a good stoppage by the ref because Escandon was just out of it. You can see it in his eyes right there.
Take another look at it here.
Man,
what a shot. And that shows perfect negotiation of range there too, Gabe, because usually when you see a shoulder roll right hand, it's kind of at mid-range, right? It comes back straight. He stepped all the way back. He threw a sweeping right hand out of the shoulder roll and knocked his man out.
Yeah, it was funny because the way Escandon dived in, it was like he was going to throw the right hand.
Right.
So the shoulder roll was perfect, and just the leverage for him to throw that shot back had a lot of power on it, obviously.
Well, just a reminder that Ryan Garcia returns to the ring for the first time since his mega fight against Tank Davis. He'll be looking to get back to winning ways against the very dangerous Oscar Duarte on December 2nd, live here on DAZN.
Hello, hello, hello.
What a knockout victory for Eduardo Nunez. 2 straight second-round knockouts. And he'll now have his eyes on our main event a little bit later on, between Shaki Foster and Rocky Hernandez. Now, this is a dangerous, dangerous man at 130 pounds. And Gabe, Oscar Escandon has talked about retirement in the past. Prior to his 2019 win over Jack Tapora, he said, if I don't win, this is it. He decided to keep going. He got a new promotional contract, but certainly time to have questions about at least whether he should be fighting at this weight at this point in his career.
Well, definitely, I don't think it's his natural weight. You know, he looked big and out of shape, honestly. You know, and it was an early knockout, but, you know, you can't come into that a fight out of shape. That's what happens. You get knocked out.
Yeah, and, you know, to amend what I said, at 39, maybe cutting down a little bit more also isn't possible, so who knows? Eduardo Sugar Nunez, now 25-1. Let's make it official.
Javier Espinosa detuvo el combate a 38 segundos del segundo round. Por el ganador, knockout técnico, Eduardo Sugar Nunez.
So Sugar Nunez with a second-round knockout victory over the former world title challenger, Oscar Escandon, certainly the biggest name on his resume. And for Nunez, Gabe, a guy that was hoping for a title eliminator fight, was kind of waiting around for that. A quick knockout win, listen, you can stay busy right after this, but also you get a nice-looking highlight you can put up on social media, right?
For sure, and he looked good. You know, it's a quick fight, quick knockout. But I like what I saw. Setting things up, jabbing to the body, jabbing to the midsection. You know, you can see he's in there and he's thinking.
Well, he certainly had a good game plan coming into this one as well. He didn't let Escandon just get to the inside and work like a Carlos Castro did.